My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
Alrighty, that's the end of the engaging group stalking flying over me by aircraft, at commercial aircraft, over the B&G Plaza, and does so literally as I operate my phone and open up this app. So I went on ahead and recorded that group stalking conduct. Monitoring from, again, I'm walking from the museum. It's currently 7:44 a.m. The entity engaging in what is molestation with directed light, meaning the entity's light source, which remains in perfect alignment with me over whatever venue I'm at. That includes the museum at whatever time it is that I leave that museum. And the entity engages in the revealing of more light. So in other words, as though it's some sort of hazy, cloudy day is how you would ordinarily observe it. Suddenly it's a sunny day based on the direction that I start walking. Okay, and so this is literally what the entity does. And I am surrounded by traffic. The people of the state are engaging in what is surrounding the perimeter, and then combining that with what is the audible activity of Union Pacific and the use of these commercial airline planes and the small planes. I've shown you as of late the recently ones at the Montclair Transit Center. The entity flying over by the use of those planes, it's equally amplified audible activity. The entity is crossing path in the sky space using the sound of train activity, following with a light source, molesting me with light, and surrounding the perimeter. Traffic on Euclid Avenue and traffic on Holt Avenue. They are surrounding me all together, and then I'm here right now at the B&G Plaza, so I start recording. I do want to document the entity maintaining this ongoing activity, third-party facilitating venue, the museum to what is the B&G Plaza, which is the third-party facilitating venue, the Ontario Town Square, Metro 102 Apartments, the Ontario Town Square Townhomes, the venues along the Euclid Avenue in relevant position. This is the City of Ontario. That's a state facilitating venue. That's literally the city itself that is monitoring in relevant position, and they also use their vehicles to engage in group stalking. But they are in relevant position. There's the Mestiza Cafe. There is, again, Shiro's Liquor inside of the B&G Plaza that is engaging in surveillance. They're group stalking, they're monitoring, and they use that literal venue for purposes of engaging in surveillance and demonic activity, but the criminal pattern of conduct with the state. They are also acting in concert with minions along what is transit. So that includes the San Bernardino County Public Health Clinics at 150 East Holt Boulevard, the venue, the Motor Inn as I'm walking on transit, Brian's Automotive, the entity stalking via third parties who are pacing, driving in opposite directions, that is, as I'm walking on transit, the entity molesting with light, using train activity, surrounding the perimeter with traffic, which is relevant positioning, as the entity is engaged in group stalking together. So I want to break that down, and it's starting right now with what you heard. As I start recording, that's what you heard, and that's going backwards from what just occurred walking from the museum. And Omnitrans group stalking, the minions that are driving school buses, they're monitoring as well, they're group stalking. And it's the people of the state that I continue to document by company name and or license plates and even images as that ongoing comprehensive system is underway. It's currently 7:47 a.m. This is P.O.C, license 5CUG 485, 8SHK 109, 7NMG 310, 8AQF 018. 8XXE560, 7KTW629, 8TWT277, 8TGK694, 8FTJ430, 6KEX865, 7SHK403. And it is currently 7:47 a.m. And what the entity does, as I've also shown, as you are paying attention, which you are necessarily paying attention, not only because I'm revealing to you how the system of group stalking works, which is, again, this is the work of Satan, what Satan is doing amongst the people, which is criminal, all right, capable of and in no way impervious to prosecution in federal courts across the country. But 8UYK663, but you are also paying attention to the stalking conduct. The entity engages in stalking directly and vicariously through aircraft. And as I'm at the museum, the entity is flying directly over me at the museum. As I walk, that is, as I move, as I migrate, those planes move and migrate as well. And so this is why the entity is flying directly over the B&G Plaza through that parking lot, which is not going to fly over me while I'm at the museum. You're witnessing what is, again, that ongoing migration. All right, so that's what the entity is doing, flying over me here while I'm at this bus stop, 41869X2, and that is very easy to pay attention to, where the entity is, there's everywhere that you're going, there's plane flying over you. That's an indication of stalking. 8XVY711, 8BOY992, 5238. I can't even see that. Let me start that. 8YMU715. 7YNV123, and it is 7:49 a.m. By the way, it is Wednesday, April 27, 2002, and this is P.O.C. license 7JRZ054, 6VGK294, 8ZAC212, 87617S2. License 8MTP245, 7WPB320, 8XNT975, 7YJG010, 8GJD406, 4PL6218, that's the back of a large truck, 6AND001, 8YGB459, 8YKF395, 3WOS, 8, I can't see the rest of them. Can't see, it said 84 and I couldn't see the last character, so you can scratch that one. 8XJX099, 57264A2. It's 7:50 a.m. 8KTC084, 8VTG493. Five HUC 384, 5 ZVX 852, 7 ZXM 583, 8D40799, BF 39K61 paper. And Omnitrans is approaching now at 7:51 a.m. License 8ANV057. License 8SHX624, 8W63190, 58542J2, and Omnitrans is 1545817, bus 2347, arriving at 7:51 a.m. 6ECE056. I am on the bus now. It's 7:52 a.m. still. Ontario Montclair School District, license 1518711. Ontario PD, vehicle 1040, crossing path. Specifically, they're crossing path on Sultana, so we are at the red light. I'm on Omnitrans, and the entity is monitoring as one the same exact condition. This is all demons who surround me, follow me from intersection to intersection while I'm on public transportation, and following with a whole environment, okay? The Ontario Police Department in Vehicle 1040 crosses path on Sultana, proceeding what is north on Sultana while we're at the red light. I did capture that in an image. 8WNP 749, and that's at 7:53 a.m. 6JGJ 353 8890. I can't see. G42, I believe. 8890 G42. 6KWN 427. 8VRW 527, I believe. 50842F1. 7ZPY 775.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Sí, pues sí. Favor, usar la puerta trasera.
7EZJ. I can only see that one. 2373301, I think. 8ZOC 958. 93171R1. 7UES 855. 8ZJD 352. 8MJV 342. 7AGC 258.
Along the street.
ZKZ. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. 98RK 266.
Grove Avenue.
8MJV 342. Yeah, 8VRK 939. Yeah, I read those. At 7:55 a.m. 8RNB 341. 7GXM 337. 5LRZ 252. 8JLH 039. 54713Z1. Student Transportation of America crossing path. JKV 362. Um, 7HAH 098.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Sí. Favor, usar la puerta trasera.
02870G3. 28027V1. 5WBV. Oh, can't see that. That is again license 1545817, bus 2347, and I got off at 7:59 a.m. at the Glen Dorning venue, which is directly across the street from the San Bernardino County Department of Human Services. 1627 East Holt Boulevard in Ontario. License 8PFV060 7J52100. Six ZRF 049 8LYX 548 License 8JKU769 8HCY470, and this is group stalking at the county building. All right. License, it's 8:08 a.m. License 74010C1, and 8WUA181, 7DEG066, 7TBF462. All right, license 6NWJ708. It's 8:11 a.m. Alrighty, it is 8:47 a.m. So I am at the county building. This address is the 1647 Holt Boulevard County Building, where I captured at 9:08 a.m. My last presence here at this venue, which I was reminding about my presence in Upland, California at the same time, which is speaking to what is the pattern of conduct that's underway, and the flashing of light inside of this same venue where they are group stalking inside of the county building. I want to document what is bathroom monitoring. This is always coexisting. The entity that's engaged in surveillance is a sex offender engaging in surveillance in a private space, and Allied Universal group stalking in the bathroom for purposes of crossing path. And then they are also, the entity is maintaining that light source directly over me while I'm at the county building, which is already documented. And that's exactly what's underway. The pattern of conduct and the sex offender that is San Bernardino County monitoring the bathroom. And Allied Universal is the third party. They are on the grounds group stalking with San Bernardino County, and doing so under the guise of what are providing security services. There's African-American male and African-American female who are working inside of the 1647 building. They are representing the company Allied Universal while they are with the county. Okay, a Wendy at window number 3, a Latino female with a red top, and she has on tan-colored shoes, high heels, and she is on camera. I'm at her window, where also the entity is engaged, the entity that stole my property, the entity that knows exactly who I am, placing me under surveillance, engaging in ongoing terrorism, stating as of April 5th and April 8th, when I went to the Fontana Driver License Processing Center on the 5th, subject to the pattern of conduct, and on April 8th, went to the Rancho Cucamonga California Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, subject to the pattern of conduct. And you have what is today, April 27th, and the entity is speaking to what is 5 to 10 business days, and the entity is engaging in what is by Wendy, the San Bernardino County where I'm at, subject to the pattern of conduct. I just want to speak to that ongoing collection of facts where an entity is engaging. This is a fallacy of privacy and anonymity. The entity knows exactly who you are. The entity is the same one that engaged in the P.O.C. theft of my property. It's not lost. It is stolen. I'm subject to the P.O.C. lying about the fact that it was stolen as well. The same entity that's monitoring, that's Omnitrans. And you're talking about what is then this, as of the 27th, claiming no possession of my driver's license, which is set up to be mailed to this county building where I'm subject to the P.O.C. So I just want to document all of that together because it's all directly related. So anyway, it's April 27th, and that is, again, this is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom at the county building. Very heavily documented. You got direct light across these demons inside of the room. These are the same freaks and sex offenders. And by freaks, I mean you literally witness it as I'm showing you that directed light that's just sitting on a ceiling above their head, and then the fake sun is over me as I step outside. There is no reconciling that light activity, and it is within a documented pattern. There is, again, speaking to, as I'm revealing what is demonic, there is no exception with regard to or respecter of a type of demon. And by type of demon, I mean there is no type of demon. There's the demon possessed, period. And what I'm showing you is that there's no difference with regard to being inside of the county building. You're a demon. You're being on the streets, walking or being in any grocery store or driving in your car. They're demons alike. And that is also as a matter of evidence, speaking to that ongoing pattern of existence with regard to impossible light activity. Okay, and that is captured at this venue where they're Allied Universal is group stalking in a bathroom, and that was specifically the African-American female, and they're both working for Allied Universal. It's currently 8:51 a.m., and the fake sun does remain directly over me, and I, as you can hear, LUX, XNDR, I believe, but I can't listen to that one. You can get 8WOR379, 8RHV401, 7HZT794, who are present while they're crossing path, and the entity's light source is right here over me. Again, yesterday I'm at the Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center at Haven and Inland Empire while I'm already en route to Fontana. And the light source is right there on Inland Empire Boulevard at 8:31 a.m. It's 8:52 a.m. Also, and again, that's with regard to what is comparing where the entity is what the entity is doing with its fake sun based on where I'm at a specific time. And the entity is keeping the fake sun right here over me while I remain on Hope Boulevard in Ontario at the county building, walking up to what is Hope Boulevard, where this is ongoing crossing the path. Student Transportation of America, 7NAK560. Loomis is crossing path. License 7BOR205. BK65561. 8NSR951. And it's 8:52 a.m. And this is San Bernardino County. So before I go into that, because I'm going to reiterate what I spoke about yesterday. But before I do that, I want to make sure I be clear. I want to make sure that I am clear. This is the same exact entity that is acting as one, okay? Claiming to not have possession of my mail that is to be directed to the county building after April 5th and April 8th, which I documented, okay? Going to state facilitating venues where I'm subject to state surveillance and terrorism. The P.O.C. is underway. And it's April 27th, and claiming to not have possession of my mail, which is in the form of my California ID and my California driver's license. I just want to make sure I point that out. So anyway, like I stated yesterday inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, where the entity, which is San Bernardino County, it's a venue of San Bernardino County, Fontana Lewis Library, where I'm documenting what is a molestation, the sex offender that is San Bernardino County. This is the sex offender that is San Bernardino County at another venue, where they are engaging in monitoring me in the bathroom, which is exactly what's underway at the Fontana Lewis Library as well. Okay? It's 8:53 a.m. Alrighty, so like I was stating, the different venues of the San Bernardino County, the Fontana Lewis Library is a San Bernardino County venue, so this is essentially a state facilitating venue, and that is a molestation by the entity that is touching with directed light, and did so, the entity engages in sexual violence, which is molestation with directed light, inside of the building, which is a venue, to be prosecuted for that sexual violence. This is, again, the ability to prosecute companies as they are engaging in the conduct of sex offenders with the state. 6MBM3847FDL983. 8XLK163, group stalking on Airport Drive, where the fake sun is right here. 8FJL541. 7YLX252. And these are demons pacing one after another after another. 8AWL026. 8NRG627. All driving by the bus, engaging in what is the crossing path conduct. They're monitoring their communication devices. 62643P1. They're also demons. Directed light coexisting in the fake sun remains over me while they engage in that pacing conduct. YP45873. Procedure. Security. Procedure is spelled PROSEGR. They're engaging in what is group stalking crossing path on Airport Drive. So like I stated, that is the sexual violence at the state facilitating venue, like I referenced yesterday at the Fontana Lewis Library. This is the San Bernardino County, the same entity acting big picture, but is also understanding the same actor with regard to San Bernardino County at its state facilitating venue at 1647 Holt Boulevard, 1627 Holt Boulevard, where they're monitoring in a bathroom. And the light source is directly over me in conflict with, for example, my already being en route to the Fontana Metrolink train station and to the Fontana Lewis Library, and also where I'm not even coming in this direction, where I'm in Montclair, when I'm already in Upland, California, on Foothill Boulevard in front of the bus stop for Route 66, etc. So this is monitoring. This is the sexual violence by San Bernardino County, the same actor that I'm documenting inside of Fontana Lewis Library, where they are engaging in that same sex offense with the state, while surveillance is underway, and this same entity engaging in what is not having possession, again, of my mail that is to be directed to that county building, which I had my process those applications where I was subject to the P.O.C. 15014. I can't wait to see that license plate. That's the Demons of Ontario Police Group stalking at Terminal 2. at the Ontario airport. Processing my driver's license and my California ID, where the very entity itself that is monitoring is literally the entity that is maintaining a possession of it and claiming not to have it. So this is the ability I just want to speak to. Who is delivering? And I'm putting all this in air quotes because you're understanding what is an entity that's monitoring. And so then you're taking a step back and you're just looking at what's a psychopath and how it's engaging in an ongoing step-by-step fallacy as to an actual legitimate process. You're talking about what is... you're talking about what is the entity that is the United States Postal Service, the feds that are stalking and monitoring. And you're talking about what is the DMV, a state facilitating venue. I mean, the entities directed light, the fake sun over my head at both the Fontana Driver's License Processing Center. This is no secret with regard to the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to, and I just want to make sure that as you're listening, you're cognizant of every angle of that. And this is the county building who is monitoring as well, all right? They're all monitoring. So I just want to point that out, and that's what is laughable about it. This is the entity holding on to, in other words, my license plate and my driver's license. It's not lost. It's not some delay. They're monitoring, okay? And every single aspect of that entity is monitoring. The DMV, the Driver's License Processing Center in Fontana, that's another DMV processing center. The United States Postal Service, okay? The county building where it's supposed to be mailed to. They're all monitoring. The people of the state that sit in all of those venues, both working there and there to just engage in stalking like these minions sitting on the bus are. All right, so it is currently 9 a.m. I just want to make sure I point that out. This is P.O.C. at the Ontario airport. That's where I'm at right now. And the entity's keeping the fake sun over me as we are en route to the Fontana Metrolink train station. This is P.O.C. AWL026 is crossing path again on the through the Terminal 2 of the airport. 8MHD038. They were crossing path on Vineyard before. They turned to drive west onto Airport Drive. We're now on the property of the airport, driving what is west on through Terminal 2 up to approaching Terminal 4. And this male driving this Honda is now again group stalking on the passenger side of the bus. All right, and this is specific targeting conduct. Not only are they all group stalking, this particular minion is one who was stalking and specifically crossing path again with knowledge that they've been documented. A license of SINTAS, which is stalking with light, 25238U1, 84915G3, 8MHD038. License 8XOD. Let's see. Okay, let's see that one. License 8UPY820, 8XRB928, 1516069. That's Ontario Police and a white pickup truck. It's 9:02 a.m. 7LOH581. 26776P2, 7XMH012, 8GZX477, 1570376. That's the Riverside County Fire Department. License 7XLP149. And I'm now we're exiting the Ontario airport. We're on Airport Drive, going toward Archibald. It's 9:03 a.m. 8VYE986, molesting. And this is going up Archibald. Crossing path would be Venue Geologic and Associates on Archibald. So an ongoing molestation is underway. The entity following with what's not even the sun, and that's not even sunlight, that is touching all over me while you're turning a corner and while you're driving up the street. Alrighty, this is a third party that's monitoring to that ongoing molestation. They are a sex offender the same. An entity is following from corner to corner, intersection to intersection, street to street, in the same way that the entity is stalking with an environment. It's 9:05 a.m. 8WUT481, 8VBE624, 6LJP122. 4505 OF3. Group stalking at the mobile at Archibald and Inland Empire. It's the mobile located at 670 North Archibald Avenue in Ontario. Student Transportation of America. 3UMV924. That's not the license plate of Student Transportation of America. That's another third party. License 50792N1. 8UVX641. $62569U2. There's just some white van parked on the side on mobile. Excuse me, at the mobile gas station. 39338Y1.
Stop requested. If possible, please.
16252H2, I believe.
Vamos a cruzar la puerta trasera.
I can't really see that one. Scratch that one. KNJ 279. BNX 373. H. Castro is a minion. She's got a law office over here on Inland Empire Boulevard where the state surveillance is underway. She's a relevant position. And reading what is the signage on that building. That's an easily identified third party. Sandra Castro, she's a minion and she's engaged in state surveillance. She's a relevant position. Her and every minion working in that office, and also a relevant position to that. She's on, which is Inland Empire Boulevard, the same street where I'm showing you at 5 p.m. Excuse me, that's after 6 p.m. The entity's light source over me, molesting me on a bus, speaking to what is the pattern of conduct, and also at 8:31 in the morning, which I documented yesterday. This is indeed the pattern of conduct. That's just documenting another third party, Sandra Castro. License KV214, Idaho. And Hunter Landscape 03208 V1, I believe. I'll see it clearly in a second. But Hunter Landscape is California 108822. And I will read their license plate in a second. We're at Haven and Inland Empire. V1, that is the correct license plate of Hunter Landscapes. License 7P27900, Fosco Finish Indoors. That's the commercial vehicle. It's a white van, Latino male, neck wing pair, crossing path. License 8VQN025, 8VVZ631, 8WLP784, 7JXR213. Coca-Cola crossing path, UPS crossing path.
Sí. Vamos a cruzar la puerta trasera.
4ZPZ027. HA, I believe. It's a black BMW parked inside of the business plaza. I'm looking at Plaza Continental, across the street from Plaza Continental. I'm looking for an address on the side of this building. Let's see. The Inland Empire and Porsche, that's where we're at. On the side where Black Angus is, that little plaza building. I believe that's 010HA is the license plate on that black BMW. 8LXF309. 7NGC. I can't see the rest of that. 8B43372, Stalking with Light at Extended Stay America. That would be, I believe, the Holiday Inn. Extended Stay. Yeah, they're group stalking. Documented them in Palmdale. And what happened in Palmdale? The fake sun all the way over in Palmdale remained directly over my head. Yes, I documented that. It is indeed state surveillance. OE7VS, that's the back license plate on this tow truck. And the front plate, AL, I can't see it, but it's Hogan Dedicated. Well, Hogan. It's a blue truck turning into the property where CarMax is their group stock. BES 640. HYF 198, BJPH 561, YCC 310, 6SPA 450. Q81S07. Q81S07, that's Nevada.
Ontario Mills. Service by
8URJ254.
61, 81, 82, and RTM.
7DEM973. We're at Ontario Mills at 9:16 a.m. This demon, touching with directed light, 8XJX436. This is a sex offense on the grounds of Ontario Mills, where I'm subject to surveillance. Alrighty, capturing what's a fake sun right in alignment over my head on the bus. And whereas yesterday I arrived at the Fontana Mentoring train station, I walked down Sierra Avenue, I walked down Arrow Boulevard, I walked down Bennett, show you all these side streets where the fake sun's right over me while I'm walking through, document all those minions. That's a sex offender touching me with directed light, knows exactly where I am, and that's why that impossible occurrence of what is flashing light while you're merely driving your car and it's occurring at the same time. That's demonic, and that's terrorism, and that's a sex offender. That's the people of the state. This is Ontario Mills again. I did capture a picture of the fake sun right over me. License 8AG2015. T34811 50413J2 6UBC 817 AFB090 7JRA281 42543 Y2, I believe, but I can't see that second to last character. Stalking the path of light. Their habits. License 8YON930. 9ADK433 8TOD981 7LSS008 molesting. 7JBT113. 4ZEE. I can't see the one. 07098W1, I believe. It's 9:25 a.m. P241746. That's S.I.I.S, spelled S-A-I-A. Trucking company. 68005A2. ACBL 522. 5PXU 705. 08243 D1, I believe. NVS 844. 5477322. 8382R. I can't see that. 7SUD 881. 8EXW 670. 7PNP 566. 8WJX 400. 'We're at San Bernardino Avenue and Beach Avenue at 9:27 a.m. GKW 466, I believe. Five GWY 186. 57713W1. License. Engaging in molestation. License plate. 7FIM421 8WJX400. This is at the Fontana Unified School District at Citrus and Citrus and San Bernardino, 9:31 a.m. And this license plate back here, I will get them. This is group stalking while the entity is touching on my inner thighs. You'll see that in the image that I captured. And I'm sitting on the passenger side of the bus. at this intersection at this time. The entity is keeping a light source over me while I'm in Pomona, California, as I've documented, while I'm already in Fontana. This is not the sun. This is touching with directed light, and I'm going to prosecute as the sex offenders they are. 39661K1. That's P.O.C. It is 9:32 a.m. Minions crossing path, getting on the bus. You can see the shape of the windshield through the center walkway of the bus. They're standing in that. They're walking through it. This is like demons walking through directed light. Driving through directed light in the middle of the road. This is like demons walking through directed light inside of the building, whatever building that is. For example, the Fontana Library is I captured. This is group stalking on the bus, and they're sex offenders while the entity is molesting with light while I'm sitting on the bus. 5SVG 582, blue. 8S47395. You're understanding molestation based on what the entity is doing with its light source. It's not even sunlight, and it's not the sun. The system is already broken down. While the entity is, in other words, keeping a light source directly over the window inside of a Starbucks at 4490 Montclair, California, it is not possibly the sun that is remaining in perfect alignment with me over my head on the bus going eastbound to the city of Fontana on the street of San Bernardino Avenue and Citrus at 9:30 a.m. and such that any light is touching on my inner thighs while I'm sitting on the bus itself. It is not only impossible light activity with regard to the placement of this light on the interior of the bus, but where that light is actually not going to appear somehow moving through horizontally in order to touch on the inside. And also you're looking at what is the light through the windshield. So this is speaking to what is light through every side of the bus, impossible light activity, targeting with light, but also with mutually exclusive positions of that light source. In other words, not occurring while you're remaining over me with this light source in Rancho Cucamonga, at Foothill and Haven. And also at the same time as I documented in Montclair, at Ramona and Hope Boulevard. And also what is already documented while I'm already in Fontana, at the Fontana Moncton train station. I'm talking about sitting literally at the Fontana Lewis Library before it's open. Fake sun is right there over my head. That's understanding what is the molestation with directed light and the sex offender that goes to that extent to touch and surround, terrorize, and molest with directed light while you are subject to surveillance. License 5UQX371, that's a Latino male. The sex offender 6GYG942 7GMM429. Surveillance on the grounds of what is a little elementary school. Minions are engaged in surveillance, and that's why the fake sun, and that's why I'm subject to that molestation. The P.O.C. is underway. It does not matter what type of venue that it is. It's a venue. At 9720 Jennifer Avenue. Fake sun over me while the bus turns, as I've documented day in and day out. That's exactly what's underway. License plate of 9720 Jennifer 6SWX049. And I believe that's a Caucasian male that lives there with access to that vehicle. License 7TJX88. 8VBA490. 7STR054. 7B185. 4AUC488. 8EHR740. NKF 772. You're also understanding molestation through what is the impossible light activity, as I show you, for example, at nightfall. You have a demon that is molesting me by touching me with light in the first place, as you aim your headlights, as you're stalking at a stoplight, engaging in predatory conduct, wanting to touch me while I'm walking through the crosswalk, for example, meeting at every intersection. You're also witnessing molestation in this regard, and it's also shown while, for example, I have multiple shadows. I have a shadow appearing in front of me while your headlights are aiming toward me. That's impossible light. This is a demon that's manifesting light. This is a molestation. That's another way of also understanding what is the molestation of directed light. This conduct is a perpetual sex offender.
Service by
It's at 9:36 a.m.
1961 329.
8CJM204 4VKV046 CC19 F34 paper. license 8TQR902. 7C WK449. DSC 783 9BAC 150 04055C3. 24959F3 7XXL 7FOS 945 5ATG 190 1108 2F2 I believe 7UUR 587 that one is correct 8HAR yeah you can do that 8050083
Holly Street. Stop at
8
Western.
UVD 146 7LNT 457
Si posible. Vamos a usar la puerta trasera.
5 WMT 209 8 TQL 013 7 NDO 086 I believe 4 I can't see that 18946 P1 8 VRC 486 8 XIE 398 It's 9:39 a.m. Alrighty, license plate of the bus that I'm on, subject to the pattern of conduct, license 1234516, operated by bus number 1224, operated by Daniel Luna. The employee number displayed is 3015, I believe. But nonetheless, the name is what I've documented, and I have documented that specific employee before, and this was actually the last time that I documented him. He was engaging in a molestation while I'm at what is Holt and Bonneview. And the light source is directly over my head as I'm getting off. And this is at 8:52 in the morning where I remain, and I go to Mercy House. This is another example of what is not possibly the sun. And it remains over and over me at Mercy House, by the way. I did not go to what is the Fontana Metrolink train station, as I went to Mercy House and I remained there, and then I left that property later in the day. Again, you're paying attention to these details, while today the entity is keeping the fake sun over me as I'm arriving at Metrolink later than I did yesterday. So that if that was the sun, this is the ongoing consistent documentation, because the sun is not maintaining ongoing perpetual presence over everything, over everyone, and that in that same manner in its zenith, which would be the case as to what I'm documenting if it's everyone's occasion. If it's everyone's experience and not just mine. But that is clearly witnessed as not possibly the case. It's not the case while you're witnessing them crossing path. That light source remains stationary over me. You are not in the same position in Montclair such that the sun is in its zenith over your head. Inside, okay, it's not just over the Starbucks, it's over my head inside of that Starbucks. So that's just one single example. This is what is group stalking: 63417B2 70SS164 8SOW969. And that is also understanding what is the sex offense by the entity that is placing you under surveillance through such demonic methods, 6SZK914. And it is speaking to, again, the demon possession of the city of Fontana, 1482049, because that's exactly what they were doing under the fake sun when I was already here yesterday. 136136, I believe. I can't really see that license plate. That's city of Fontana, a bunch of demons and multiple vehicles of the municipality. Group stalking, crossing path. 8XYN386, 8SQX316, 61758R2, 8RHK206, BEAUTEC, Botec, I guess that's supposed to be, 8SBJ 380, 8CED022, 6BVG394, 8HXH368, 8LKP241, 8KTC738, 8UMU940, 7X, I can't really see that one, 9475472, and it is 9:45 a.m. 4PBL 537, 6VJZ 478, 8YLP 911, 6WGV 218, 8G60838, 8HPT 836, 7Z 73462, 7VBT 040, TK233NAI, that looks like an out of state, 8RKU 457, 38298R2, 8LFC 414, 6VD5630. Okay, let's see that one. 7SWK131, I believe. 8YJA963. 8W89137. 1252601, 8AKL339, 8WPB423, 8P12121, 18514U1, 7EHJ896. TBX100. Here, let's see that one. 7FDR071, yeah. 8SDP261. 8KVY229. This is Heart, YTERNO. 8LJA278. Six KHM 479. License 67168J3, 8MWS975. These minions who I captured an image of group stalking on the side of the Fontana Jewelry and Loan, with minions that are patrolling on foot and in vehicle, with 8YNU587, for example. This is license 8SGE582. License 1234513, that's Omnitrans. 8GLP235, TANDK. License 5WSC451, and it's 9:50 a.m. BV58V78 paper. This is license 5HCR323, 7JUL 357, 38143Y1, that's a commercial vehicle called Blue Space, 77136C3, 8VXN359. It's 9:51 a.m. And by the way, the images that I'm taking, I am specifically walking north up Sierra Avenue. I captured video where I'm at. I'm on Sierra Avenue where I'm capturing that video. And you're going to remember what is the video that I captured, for example, when I'm at that same location, on that same street, going in the same direction, on the same bus route. Okay? This is Sunday, coming from Montclair at 1:16 p.m. Well, I captured video during the 9 o'clock hour now, arriving at the Fontana Metro train station. That is prefacing what I'm documenting. And then I'm capturing still images of what are the people of the state. These are demons who are stalking while literally that fake sun just remains over me while I'm walking north of Sierra Avenue. And I'm showing you the fake sun while they're stalking in the past, sitting in their vehicle, walking past me on the sidewalk, group stalking conduct. And so I just want to be clear as to where I'm at and capturing those images. What is group stalking? License 6 PSV 170, surrounding stalking. This minion with the blue Tesla and a white dog in her back seat. She's group stalking. License plate 8EGM 701. License 7BLT 163. Seven DVW 849. ALY 676. NWX 781, 8ELX 607, 6YXT 441, 8YIG 298. What you'll also pay attention to, what I documented on Sunday, and I was documenting specifically another fake church. It's just another venue, okay? I'm revealing what is state surveillance, massive surveillance by a demon-possessed population, and they like to call themselves churches as well. All right, like you're sitting in pews, those of you that are not of this condition and that are witnessing what I'm doing, which is documenting and prosecuting a demon-possessed entity. That's who I'm speaking to, not to the minions who are witnessing their own demise. Those of you who are genuinely ignorant and who have an ear to hear, I documented this fake church called Iglesia Vanantial. They were a bunch of demons standing around in directed light. The fake sun was directly over my head at 5:02 p.m. I took a picture of that. And what you're going to pay attention to, that was Sunday. All right. And then the entity placed that light source at 5:19, which I captured at the 7-Eleven at 5:19. And what I captured yesterday, again, and what's going on right now at 9:54 a.m., the fake sun is over my head at that same location. This is what I documented yesterday in the morning. The fake sun is on the same street in the same position that it was after 5 p.m. In the evening, where ordinarily also, I'm not usually walking down this street. I'm remaining inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, and the entity is keeping that fake sun on those specific streets. That is aiming into the depths of the Fontana Lewis Library, keeping it in perfect alignment. And also, then as I walk south down Sierra Avenue back to the Fontana Metro train station, this is speaking to what is, again, revealing in that regard. You're witnessing what is stalking with the light source, clearly, following as I go the specific route that I take, and it is also speaking to what is capturing the demonic in that regard, because that's not the sun that's going to be over that fake church. Well, let me not include the conclusions in that statement. That's not the sun that will be over the location of this Iglesia Vanantial at 5:02 in the evening after leaving the library. And then also in the morning while I'm crossing path yesterday during the 9 o'clock hour, which is exactly what's ongoing right now. That is the pattern of conduct. Okay, and also, while I documented what is directed light, they are demons the same, and there's no change with regard to revealing and the ability to identify that. Okay, demons cannot hide from you at all. All right, there is no concealed status with regard to Satan and how it is using people and those that are of that condition, demon possession, and that's exactly what it is. There's no halfway in between. Oh, you're kind of good, and whatever you want to quote unquote call good. I think that's a very vague label. You're talking about what is black and white, and you're talking about having what is black and white is speaking to the the condition of having literally what is a matter of a spiritual condition. This is a psychopath with the spirit of Satan on them. They are what you are referred to as demon possession, which you see extreme demonstrations of this in movies, which is not necessarily the case. You're talking about what is demonic as you're witnessing the environment, and you're not going to be deterred by what they're calling the venue, a church, but you're looking at what is not possibly the sun that's over that church. You're looking at what's not even possibly sunlight. Not only that, manifesting in the shade. This is the same engineered light while they're all standing around holding Bibles, okay, and they're group stalking a bunch of demons, all right? And not only that, a couple days later, while I go to the same venue in the morning, that's how you also know that's not the sun, and they were engaging in the pattern of conduct, just like I documented. I'm speaking so in order that no one may be deceived by what Satan is relying on, the superficial. Calling your venue a church versus it being what is a strip club, okay? Minions alike. All right, so you can get out of these vague terms that you call good, what you call bad, what it is that you're, however it is that you're determining what is possible or feasible with regard to demon possession and what that is and how you're able to determine that. It is a very precise formula. It's a demonic environment. The demon possessed are in this environment while they're engaging in what is also criminal conduct. That's what they're being prosecuted for. But while I'm doing that, you also have what is the revealing of what is a very precise formula for understanding and being able to recognize, and no demon whatsoever can in any way conceal that condition which is occurring in that specific environment. And it's identical. It's identical, and it is a surefire formula for revealing that. And so that's what I'm also pointing out to. And I wanted to point that out, but again, about that fake church, because what I was stating, I said it in front of those minions because they're monitoring and they're demons and they're listening to me document, and that's why I speak the truth as I do in front of their face while I'm documenting them, and they're preparing for what is a prosecution while I'm also revealing the fact that they're a bunch of demons in what is not even a genuine church. Hi, it's the heights of hypocrisy. It's disgusting. It's currently 9:58 a.m. Alrighty, license 8PVH178, molesting with directed light inside of the 7-Eleven. It is 10:02 a.m. now, on surveillance cameras inside of the venue. All right, you got the feds monitoring at the 7-Eleven, fake sun over his head. You'll see this minion. This is the federal government. These are the ones that are playing with my driver's license and my California ID while they're group stalking. The United States Postal Service, that's the feds, okay? Vehicle 126342, and this male is standing right in the entrance. He's monitoring, waiting for me to, this is the heavy-duty stalking conduct, fake sun right above his head, okay? It's right above me. That's why it's right there. It's 10:05 a.m. I'm capturing video at this time in Montclair, okay? I'm sitting inside of the Starbucks as I started capturing video at 9:59 a.m., showing you what is the maintenance of that fake sun. I'm standing inside of Panera Bread in Rancho Cucamonga, showing you what is that fake sun that's right over my head at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I step outside at 10:10 and I show you what remains there and not over what is, Arrow Boulevard in Fontana. That is over the 7-Eleven. That would be impossible. This is the same 7-Eleven where I'm at on Sunday at 5:19 p.m. Where you're looking at it right over the roof of the 7-Eleven. That fake sun is right there over my head on the sidewalk. This is the federal group stalking and monitoring conduct. This is a demon representing nothing other than the federal government. That's just a demon wearing a U.S.P.S. uniform. That's it. All right. And this third party is monitoring as well, 8PVH178, which I documented that those demons walk into the 7-Eleven after flashing directed light is reaching into the back of the 7-Eleven. These demons are monitoring with the feds that came and delivering mail. That's the form for that demon, going to deliver mail everywhere I'm at in order to engage in group stalking. That's what the United States Postal Service do, including when there is no mail being delivered after 10 o'clock in the evening and you're running around in circles with a flashlight. That's Satan. All right. Documented the United States Postal Service while that minion had access to a USPS vehicle while I was in the vehicle outside of 630 North Front. Remember that documentation as well. License 8ZKB109 36218D2. And let's see, this license plate is 8RPH974, in case I did not read that one. But yeah, I took a still image of that, and the significance of it is the fact that it's also, while yesterday I'm here at the in Fontana, where I am arriving at the Fontana Lewis Library, okay? And we're at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library. It's not 5 minutes later while I'm in the Fontana Lewis Library over the 7-Eleven at 1601 Arrow Boulevard. Of course, I've already shown you what is the pattern. That entity keeps the fake sun until after 6:30 in the evening. That fake sun doesn't go anywhere. That is the direct evidence. First of all, what is the condition of the federal government utilizing the United States Postal Service? Because that's what that is. That's the feds engaging in demonic activity, engaging in what is surveillance. While they want to hold on to my driver's license and California ID, they can go right on ahead. License 8ERE794, 6TQV144, 8WPN 539. This is P.O.C, and this is what I'm speaking to with regard to what is an entity. This is an entity that's engaging in being documented as the psychopath stalker that it is. But you're just talking about what's the context there. It's an entity that's acting not as an individual. It's concerted conduct. It's a comprehensive system. BQH4287, Washington. DC Freight. I don't see any license plate on DC Freight. And while you see that fake sun directly over my head, while the United States Postal Service is group stalking, while that fake sun is over my head, telling the secrets of a demon, all right? You know them by their presence in that environment, which is their deed. That's their deed. You're present in that environment. You're engaging in what is specific conduct, which you are capable of readily identifying as a matter of objective evidence. And it's a scientific fact that that's not the sun, and it is not possibly the sun, which I have taken on the feat of demonstrating it. And that's insurmountable evidence. License 79436R2. And you have what is that light source is directly over me. That's exactly what the entity is doing as I'm referencing this fake church at 16779 Arrow Boulevard, where all of those minions, as I documented them on Sunday, group stalking on the grounds of your church. I mean, and then you're going to open up your Bible and talk about your Jesus. Okay, when you could not be farther from the truth of what it is that you preach, but I'm not going to go into that. All I'm going to do is document, and I'm going to prosecute, and I'm going to drag the demons that are in facilitating venues that call themselves churches. I'm going to drag the demons that are in facilitating venues that they call libraries, that they call purposes for shelter services, that they call hospitals, that they call jails. They're all venues where Satan is literally engaging in an ongoing massive operation, which is criminal. I'm going to prosecute them, every single last one of them. And it's currently 10:09 a.m. I'm at Bennett and Arrow, where I was yesterday at a much earlier time, all right? And again, during that time today, where I was here on this street, I was on the bus still en route to this venue, all right? And that's what's significant, 7PZC736, and that's how you capture the demonic. That's how you're capturing it. And I've captured the demonic for a term of years now, speaking to what is irreducible evidence of what is indeed a very real system, federal group stalking and monitoring. It's 10:10 a.m. License plate, this third party, 7FAC617. Alrighty, capturing quite a bit in this video that I just captured at the 16855 United Steelworkers Local 7600 Health Employees. Unity and Strength for Workers, right? Like a union affiliation. Their venue is a third-party facilitating venue. And this is used as a method of what is a timestamp. You've got a demon stalking in the parking lot, 7MBX061, with their headlights on while they are monitoring in the path, all right? I'll take a picture. Alrighty, and what I captured again is I'm just reminding you about what the entity is doing, which is stalking with the fake sun. And at 10:10 a.m. when I'm already inside of the library and I step out and I'm showing you what's the entity doing, aiming inside of that library, it's directed light. All right, and it's supposed to be that which is sunlight, because you are formally ignorant. You're not ignorant anymore. Formally ignorant about what is this system that surrounds you, which is supposed to be the natural environment that you're never questioning. It's never suspect to you. And so I'm going to break that system down for you, and that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing for years. Okay. speaking to the existence, the establishment of precedent, and serving for what is the grounds of prosecuting any state that's placing you under surveillance in the state, in the U.S. All right, 8ZQL 029. And the entity that is engaging in this is a demon-possessed one, and it shall be prosecution for what is terrorism by the state, by the people of that state. While they're demons that are engaging in criminal surveillance in violation of federal law. It's interstate stalking amongst a specific population, and it is terrorism. So anyway, as I captured this video at 10:10 in the morning, where I'm standing nowhere near the property of the Fontana Lewis Library, you can see it while I'm standing away from it, because I want you to see what is the absence of the sun. Over that venue, which you can see the roof in the latter part of that video that I captured starting at 10:11 a.m. So there's no question as to what is, when I'm starting that video at 10:10, I believe, or 10:09, and I'm inside and I'm explaining some things. So I'll start at 10:11 a.m. This is the same time. You're talking about what's supposed to be the sun. Okay. So you're talking about what is the ability to see the roof of that Fontana Lewis Library where I'm standing at Nuevo. And I want you to see that because there is no hovering light source while I'm outside of that building at the same time. Okay. And that is speaking to what is impossible, because while I'm standing there in front, and the Fontana Lewis Library is a very tall building, I am 5'5", okay? And no, even if you were 6'2", you cannot see over the roof of that Fontana Lewis Library behind to what is the United Steel Workers Local 7600 healthcare employees, where I just captured the fake sun over my head, standing in front of that venue, speaking to the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to. It's just a matter of where you're at, because you're engaging in stalking with an environment. 6SWT 665. You're stalking with light. And you're doing so. And so while the light source is over me at this intersection at Nuevo and Arrow Boulevard, that's not going to create, first of all, you're going to deconstruct the system. That's not sunlight that's inside of the Fontana Lewis Library while you're looking at the light source over my head while I'm inside of that venue. And then I step out and I show you what is that light source that's over the clock. The clock that you can see while I'm standing outside of the library today at the same time, and showing you what is that light source that's not hovering over that clock, that is not appearing to be hovering while you're standing over there by the library, and it's while it's over my head at this intersection, it's over there appearing to be hovering. No, it's not. That is clearly a separate, different location. It's right here over me, as opposed to being over that library as I am there at the same time, which I documented yesterday. It's also speaking to, again, we can go out, take it out of the city. It's not hovering over me at Panera Bread in Rancho Cucamonga at the same time either, which is what I was showing you while I was inside. That's not sunlight. That's not even the sun. This is an ongoing system, and the two methods of stalking with light are distinct, and one is not dependent on another, because it's not even the sun, and that's not sunlight coming from that light source. This is literally the placement of directed light. It is the act of Satan. All right, Satan is alive through the environment, placing light all around. Those are the demons of the San Bernardino Fire Department. And that's what they were doing yesterday while the fake sun was over me at an earlier hour on the same street while they were crossing path using a battalion vehicle. License 1W79480 45765W2 7HOF005. They're group stalking. That's criminal summoning. They're monitoring together. License 8DIW510. So while I'm showing you this light source, you're understanding what is placed inside of that venue, because while it's over me in Rancho Cucamonga, while it's over me at the Arrow Boulevard and Nuevo intersection, it's not over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library, which you can even see from this video that I captured right here. But you can also see that while I'm in Rancho Cucamonga. It's not over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library. You can clearly see that. And that is not sunlight that is being aimed inside of that Fontana Lewis Library. That's stalking with light. That's terrorism. The entity is following everywhere, touching, invading, attacking, molesting with engineered light. All right, which is the act of Satan. This is the act of the demon possessed. Satan uses people. Satan is present through the environment. The environment is alive. And it's actually ironic to say alive, but I say alive with regard to the environment is animated. All right, it is active. Okay, so you're talking about what is the light, and that's seen through the light activity. The light literally moves as I move. It's focused on and concentrated wherever it is that I am, and doing so also in what are impossible manners. You're aiming what is supposed to be assumed as sunlight at this time, all right, and that's revealing what is a very short memory, because if that's the sun that's over me, for example, remaining over the roof of the Upland Public Library, then there is no sun, nor is there going to be any sunlight inside of this venue in what is an impossible manner, even if I didn't have the documentation of what is you're keeping a fake sun over my head while I'm inside of the Upland Public Library in the city of Upland, California at 450 North Euclid Avenue. all right? Because sunlight is not coming, it's coming from what's supposed to be the sun that's over buildings, not adjacent to them, but also not bending horizontally somehow so you have what is light that is appearing inside of the building. It's absolutely ridiculously asinine conduct that the entity engaged in. This is the obsession that you see through the light. It's personified through the light. That is analyzed, that's prosecuted as the impermissible threat. That obsession is a threat to your life. It's absolutely demented. And then on top of that, what's the icing on the cake? These demons sit around like they're normal. I'm showing you Star Trek light activity, and they're sitting looking to the left and to the right. You don't have a prayer. You literally don't have a prayer while you're a demon, but you don't have a prayer looking like the freak that you are. It is literally the direct evidence of the psychopaths that people of the state are. 7MYZ 544 29185J2 Pinsky 7NBY 480 913 69W2. So this is the video that I captured outside of the Fontana Lewis Library, speaking to the same time where I was inside of it yesterday, referencing what is, again, that you'll juxtapose while I'm absolutely in a different city, all of which is an example of what is stalking with directed light inside of venues, which you see on the bus, you see it while I'm outside, you see it while I am inside of any venue, okay? And so the entity's light source is remaining over me again while let's turn it back to what is now, again, the same entity acting at a different address, which is nothing other than another venue up in Public Library. While it's remaining over, this light source is over me at this intersection of Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue. The documentation is such that the entity is keeping a fake sun from 10 o'clock in the morning over the roof of that library until I remain at the end of the day, even upon my exit, which is 6 p.m., all right, after 5 p.m., 6 p.m. That's the speaking to what is stalking with light. 2929OK2, which I consistently reminded you about while I was at Upland, and which I documented even before I went to Upland last week. But I'm speaking to what is the consistent documentation, what is the continuity of purpose and unlawful purpose to place one under surveillance. So this is why you have that environment, which is an impossibility, a scientific impossibility. It is a reference to, it is capturing that which is the demonic. Okay, so it is currently 10:26 a.m. and so now I'm walking toward the Fontana Lewis Library, which is always the pattern of conduct. The entity remains over my head with the fake sun as I arrive at that venue. Then the light source is there, which is not the sun. Okay, so if you're talking about where I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library as of 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay, so this is where the sun is at, and that's where it's at because it's in its zenith right over my head at 10 o'clock. So there's no vague presence with regard to, well, it's right there over my head where I'm standing. And so I should be able to expect at 10 o'clock in the morning if I want to, capture images, photography, if I was a photographer, for example. Oh man, the sun, it's so beautiful. It's like in its fullness right there at the Fontana Lewis Library at 10 o'clock. But that's not the case when I'm in Rancho Cucamonga at 10 o'clock. That's not the case when I'm in Ontario at 10 o'clock. That's not the case when I'm in Montclair, when I am in Pomona at 10 o'clock, when I'm in Chino, California at 10 o'clock, and it's right there over my head at all of those different locations in that exact same manner. That is impossible. That's called stalking with a light source. And the entity is not just stalking with a light source. The entity is stalking with an entire environment. The audible activity, when I'm pointing out to you that which is amplified, it is serving that ongoing demonic and criminal purpose. That which is serving a demonic purpose is criminal. But I'm speaking to, again, this demonic angle is speaking to what's prosecution for terrorism, which is criminal. But I'm being very precise so that you understand where I'm going, how you are creating a legislation policy in order to prosecute that, and understanding the criminal motive and how it's relevant to what is federal stalking and the ways in which it's even enhancing what is that prosecution while an entity is engaging in federal stalking. So it's 10:27 a.m. I want to capture the fake sun that's over me now as I arrive at the venue. And you're looking at, and I'm going to capture that in still images. And the entity is, first of all, remember, I come here on Sunday after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. You remember yesterday I get here, I took a picture because I want you to see it's right over my head. And on Sunday, I'm still sitting inside of the cafe at Starbucks in Montclair. 7FRJ976. And again, today I am arriving at 10:27 a.m. and I'm going to take a picture because this is where the light source is now. And that is not remaining over that street of Arrow Boulevard. It's clearly over my head. And this is stalking with that light source where it remains, by the way, which is exactly what I'm capturing at the end of the day. All right. It's 10:28 a.m. These demons are pacing the parking lot. Let me give these license plate real quick. License 7RMJ415. Matrix AV. Their license is 06982K2 8FSF316 7AVL 799 6GZY 556 7MRP 375 8VCW 683 8LRS 049 8ZMP 152 9AJC 798. It's 10:29 a.m. 8NDJ 247 crossing path. All right, showing you minions that are pacing outside under the fake sun. License 6KIJ948. That's the image you see, this minion with her hair back in a bun, and you see another one. She's carrying a name tag around, perhaps a San Bernardino County employee. 8NFT 621, San Bernardino County Fire crossing path 1370411 36132G2. And I'm going to capture the fake sun right now. It's 10:29 a.m. Alrighty, I did capture that. It is 10:30 a.m. And the entity is maintaining a light source where it is that I remain for however long it is that I remain. And while the entity engages in such obsessive stalking, it is very, very easy to document what is stalking with that environment, which is a scientific impossibility as to the fact that it's even occurring in the first place, which is revealing the system of surveillance that you're subject to. It's 10:31 a.m. Alrighty, and I do capture, again, the light source that's, again, as I walk into the entrance doors, it's hovering right over the clock where it was not absent, contrary to where it was not present at the same time as it was yesterday while I was inside of this venue being the Fontana Lewis Library, which is present within an impossible method anyway, because you're not hovering over, the sun's not hovering over the Fontana Lewis Library while I am at Panera Bread, and the light source is directly over my head on Foothill Boulevard at that time and remaining. All right, so this is speaking to what is stalking with light. The direct light inside of the venue is present while I arrive, and that is not sunlight that's present, that's occurring while the supposed sun is over the across the street at Arrow and Nuevo, where I was located. That's not sunlight that's occurring. The entity is engaging in what is, that's sunlight because that's the sun. Okay, well, when I'm outside of the building and the light source is directly over my head at that intersection, which is impossible also, because it's not the case when I'm remaining in all the different cities as I've documented. I'm in Chino, California. I've documented this at 10:30 in the morning, okay? I'm in Pomona, California at the same time. This is not the possibly the sun, and also that's speaking to what is stalking with directed light. And so this is what I captured upon my arrival. It's 10:32 a.m. right now, and this is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in a bathroom. This is the sex offender that's engaging in ongoing molestation, aiming directed light, and also ongoing terrorism. The entity is engaging in ongoing massive surveillance while I'm showing you the methods of directed light, as I showed you yesterday at 5:50 p.m. The directed light that's flashing across the ceiling. I mean, that's a distance. It's like going at an angle in order for that massive light. If you saw where the computer I'm sitting at, I have to walk down the aisle and then make a turn. That large window is not a straight shoot. And you're talking about what is impossible while I'm on the second floor. Even on the first floor, driving in traffic is not ricocheting light. It's a clear indication of what are the demons that are engaging in this system. It's entirely demonic. And that, when the entity engages in that, those are the admissions. That's exactly how it's going to be. You're admitting, because that is absolutely, spectacular demonstration of what is terrorism, what is stalking. You know exactly where I'm at. You are a stalker, you're a third party, and you're also a demon. All of this is known from that documented conduct. And then you have what are psychopaths that are sitting around stalking while that's underway inside of the environment. That's also documentation of what is terrorism. Demented. All right, excuse me, it's 10:33 a.m., and this is documentation of all of the above. Federal stalking by entity in the bathroom, ongoing terrorism and harassment by an entity that's engaged in federal stalking. This is an impermissible threat while the entity is also monitoring documentation, okay? So it's 10:34 a.m. I am inside of State Facilitating Unit Fontana Lewis, I'm a minor little bit of a congestion, so I am inside of State Facilitating Venue, Fontana Lewis Library, all right? And it's 10:34 a.m. I do remain on surveillance cameras, and this is the P.O.C. Burtech is group stalking outside. This is harassment by a demon-possessed entity that's monitoring. It's 10:47 a.m. It's been engaging with amplified sound of dumpster emptying the dumpster for 5 minutes. This is amplified audible activity while the same demons who you see on March 30th, 2022 are group stalking inside of the venue. And let me give you also more additional context. These are demons that are sitting back and watching me document while I go to Chino, California, and I documented the fact that they are demons while directed light was sprawling on the ceiling, while Burtek was group stalking using an entire dumpster truck while the fake sun hovered over at 10:58 a.m. This is a reiteration of the same P.O.C. while they are amplifying that sound. That's Burtek engaging in group stalking. All right, the same one engaging in what is kidnapping. This is a pattern of conduct while you're sitting inside of what's supposedly the computer lab. That's supposed to be quiet, and ordinarily you're not going to hear what is ongoing incessant sound of what's taking forever to empty the trash. And it's also not going to be while light is sprawling about the ceiling, which is a pattern, by the way, a demonic pattern. And this is also occurring while the entity is monitoring documentation. This is again the same minion that's threatening to call the police while I'm using my phone, and you don't even know what I'm doing. Monitoring in here, that's relevant. You're going to federal prison. This is demonic activity. It's 10:49 a.m. That's audible activity and directed light.
Please join us at 11 o'clock for preschool story time and the children's program room. Hear engaging books, songs, and do a fun craft. We hope to see you there.
This is what's so funny, as in pathetic. The moment that I start recording, the ongoing dumpster trash, emptying the dumpster, stops. Okay, and like I said, this is first of all an substantial disturbance in what would be what's supposed to be a quiet library, and again, this is occurring in what is directed light under a fake sun, and this is also a psychopath that's monitoring my documentation because while I use that same pattern of conduct that's underway at Fontana Lewis Library, and I went to Chino Library, the city of Chino, and I showed you what is the facilitating venue of Landeros that had a fake sun over me in the same way that the fake sun was over me at this inside of this computer lab, while Burtek was group stalking in the same way that it was right now, and immediately stopped sounding amplified audible activity demons at 10:47 the moment that I press record. It's 10:51 a.m. I already captured that. You can look at the video documented March 30th, 2022 at 10:58 a.m. P.O.C. That's noise making you're hearing in the background, and the voice is the minion that I specifically documented this demon engaging in group stalking in the middle of the hallway of the Fontana Lewis Library on the second floor, where the entity was flashing light through the depths of the library, where they were having this little, it was a demonic fest, but they called it the book celebration, that little extravaganza with the DJ. That's the minion who's with a camera in directed light. That's the one that's talking here. Can you help me? I'm trying to download. She's monitoring. Okay, I just want to be clear. That's who you're listening to, and also this is a demon making noise, and they're also all aware that they're being documented, and not because I'm talking. It's because they're demons who are monitoring with communication devices. It's 12:51 p.m. Slamming toilets, which, by the way, their toilets are not loosely screwed together where you can just drop them like that. But this is the creation of activity while demons pace in and out of bathrooms. Amplified sound of toilet flushing, ongoing slamming of doors, and minions remaining in relevant position. And I've shown you what is the demonic light that's here. This is P.O.C. And this, by here I mean Fontana Lewis Library. You got a demon group stalking, sitting at a computer, and arrives to sit in relevant position, which is surveillance, based on what I'm doing online on my Google Drive. It's P.O.C. It's all on surveillance camera.
This one is to erase, okay?
That slamming of the door occurs as you hear me do this, as I start navigating on the page with the mouse. That's a demon stalking with activity, and it's also disruptive noise in what's supposed to be the quiet computer lab.
It's a program. It's a program. It's got options for guys. I think it's nationwide. Yeah. This one goes up. It's a little waist, okay? That one. There you go, you see? And then that one is to the right. Okay? It's here.
Stalking with noise as I upload 38 items into my Google Drive. That noise you hear occurs at the same time. It's demonic activity. These are the psychopaths that sit around as though they're doing something else while the light activity that I capture on video is coexisting, and everything that they are doing is centered on me. That's capturing the people of the state. There are demons engaging in what is surveillance on behalf of the government. All right, and this is federal stalking conduct, but it's also demonic. It's psychopaths engaging in that. This highly informative tutorial on how to use Google Docs and save your document onto the computer in order that you may access your very important document at another location is occurring in direct light under a fake sun, and while they are all creating simultaneous, by all I mean alternating, with the ongoing creation of audible activity with simultaneity to what I'm doing physically and on a communication device. These are demons who are requiring each other in order to maintain what is the unpersuasive form of normalcy while they're monitoring. Group stalking. All right, and if you need a reminder, take a good gander at the video that I just captured yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean at 5:50 p.m. when you're looking at impossible light activity flashing onto the ceiling. Look at March 30th, 2022, light sprawling out across the ceiling in this very computer lab where these demons are engaging in activity creation while one feigns ignorance. Well, she probably really is ignorant on how to use a computer, but nonetheless, it's activity creation while you're stalking in the path. Okay, it's 1 p.m. It is, and they're all monitoring me. That's what's so pathetic about demons. It's all about what I'm doing. Anyway, it's 1 p.m. This is the computer lab inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. It's P.O.C. That's the Asian couple monitoring. They were in the little bootleg Starbucks little cafe over there, where they're monitoring with the minions that come in, monitoring with them, even ordering something together. Demons monitoring. Yeah. It is 1:04 p.m. Their role is the maintenance of noise and engineered light, which is what they are all doing. They're doing so under the guise of their bootleg Starbucks. And they are also sex offenders that engage in amplified audible activity of the sound of that blender through the walls in the bathroom. That's exactly why I'm going to prosecute them. It's 1:05 p.m. That's all noise coming from the cafe. Boom, 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 crashing. And they like to combine that with vibration while I'm sitting at my desk. Demons. Demons should be prosecuted. That's terrorism. It's 1:15, by the way, 1:15 p.m. I'm opening up a new tab, and you're hearing noise as that's ongoing what I'm doing on the internet. You're hearing the use of the blender. You're hearing ongoing conversation. This is the demonic objective is to maintain noise while that which is not possibly the sun. Because if I'm on the bus at 1:16 and I'm showing you the light sources radiating over me as I'm coming from Montclair, and I'm here at 10 after 10 o'clock in the morning, and the light source is over my head, these are demons, and their focus is what I'm doing. They are maintaining noise in multiple methods. That's what you're hearing, ongoing noise, and also noise that occurs with simultaneity to what I'm doing. While psychopaths have no form, they like to present themselves as though they're doing something else, such as preparing a drink for somebody who's in another room. Those demons are in there monitoring together, walking in to order a drink, stalking in the path, and then the preparation of all of it is used as the ongoing methods of the elements of monitoring. And that is what is literally the demon possession of an entire entity that's a psychopath. And then I love to show video, which will I capture the light activity that they're sitting in while they're sitting around stalking with noise. Psychopaths. Okay. It's 1:19 p.m. Is the maintenance of noise and pacing around the computer that I'm sitting at. This is Group Stalking 101. Alright, as I click on upload video, sounding the blender. That's a demon stock with activity in another room. Like I said, that's a sex offender in another room when you're in the bathroom, knowing exactly what it is that you're doing. And then they also enter into the bathroom to stalk you even more so. But I just want to be clear, it's 1:27 p.m. That door closure is the amplified sound of what would ordinarily be a silent shut of bathroom doors. Demons pace in and out of that. The entity engages in what is amplifying this sound more so even as I wear headphones and drown out the environment. The entity creates what's extraordinarily loud sound of everything that you're listening. They turn it up even louder because there's no way that I would hear it if I have on headphones. The entity engages in what is, again, harassment by a whole bunch of demons who are stalking you with audible activity, stalking you in the path together while they're group stalking, and also stalking with light. And that's why the entity is keeping a fake sun over this venue, which did not come from Montclair anywhere today. It was over this venue upon my arrival in the morning, speaking to what is very much so, as I'm revealing it, demons who are present, stalking on behalf of the state. It's 1:28 p.m. This is P.O.C. You guys seem to like to ask that. Do you guys ask that of everybody that's holding their phone in their hand?
No, I don't.
Okay, because I wasn't holding my phone up at you. What's your name, though?
My name's Alyssa.
Alyssa?
Yeah.
And you're asking me if I'm recording you because I have my phone in my hand?
Because it was pointing at me.
No, that was not pointing it at you because I'm holding my phone at you. I'm pointing it at you because I'm holding it. That's what that means.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but you're the one that started the conversation. Now you want to cut it short? Thank you for the Clorox wipes, Alyssa. And that is P.O.C. And that's a psychopath that is monitoring. That's harassment by an entity. That's P.O.C. It's 3:32 p.m. All right, this is just a note as to the presence of the environment, which the presence of that environment in and of itself, and I'm referencing the light source over the venue, the flashing directed light inside of the venue, the presence of stationary directed light planted within the venue for purposes of molesting and terrorizing, and an ongoing communication of a threat that you remain subject to surveillance by a bunch of demons who are stalking with the creation of noise in every fathomable and unfathomable way, entirely demented. This is coming out of the mouth of this demon, this minion, that's the conduct of a psychopath, by the way. You know exactly what is going on. You're monitoring, doing so, and what you thought beforehand you would never be found out about. You are engaging in criminal conduct while you form your lips to ask the question, and you are thereby also seeking to pose a threat while you ask the question, which you're monitoring while you're saying. And the reality is that this is the sentence that comes out of this minion's mouth, and this is exactly what it is. This is Satan. Are you recording? This is the one that's engaging in monitoring me while I am physically indisposed in the restroom, who is engaging in ongoing stalking with audible activity, and then engages in what is the communication of a threat, because that's the reasonable translation, the analysis for that question from Satan, who is placing you under surveillance. Okay, and so this is also for the ordinary target individual who will be prosecuting the government that's placing you under surveillance in whatever state that you're in, where the entity is engaging in that which I have shown you is the pattern of conduct. It is obstruction of justice. You continue documenting. Okay, the entity engages in these tactics to obstruct justice, and it is the grounds for what will be federal prison. You continue to document. You are not to be deterred. This is why that creation of such federal laws will be in place in order to deal with that exhibition of what is an unlawful threat. This is a very violent and a sexually perverted and a highly demented psychopath. Okay, a demon demonstrated in the demonic environment that they're calling a library. Okay, while they're engaging in criminal activity, and the nature of that criminal activity suggests and demonstrates you're asking a question that you know the answer to, and why are you doing that with one who's documenting it? So you know they don't fully know who they're dealing with, but you have some sense of one who is fully aware, and I'm documenting it. So you're intending to threaten me. That's what that is. okay, while you want to also sexually violate. So I just want to be mindful of that. And this is a minion that also knows, and this is, you're going to take a step back and you're going to look at my documentation full of all the Star Trek light shows inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, the days of the excess of 10 to 12 hours of that light source, which is not possibly the sun at any time of year, remaining over this venue, over the roof, remaining over me in the directed light conduct. And then you're going to revisit the audible activity coming out of the mouth of this minion, who, again, another new face, okay, same entity though, engaging in what is a very specific and unfounded, okay, accusation. Are you recording because I'm holding my phone? I am? Wow. And that's interesting that you're also concerned about that when I'm also not holding it up on you, because you're holding your phone is not holding your phone on you. And even if I am holding my phone up, why do you assume that's a specific issue? Okay. With regard to that, what am I saying? I could be literally getting a focus, FaceTiming, taking a selfie, trying to lighten my screen because I can't see. There is a number of things, but you don't owe that explanation. You're dealing with Satan, a psychopath. Who is the criminal? Okay, so we're going to focus on what is the P.O.C. We're not going to be deterred by that, but what I'm stating is, not only is it unfounded, this is the same accusation from what is yet again a new face who's speaking, mimicking, parroting the same assumption, unfounded assumption, and doing so with knowledge of the fact that you're monitoring and you're being documented. You are Satan. So like I said, you're not going to be deterred. You're going to continue to document, and those that engage, the entity engages in this is the entity that's going to federal prison. All right, this is the entity that's stalking by helicopter at this venue, following me to where it is that I sleep, where I am getting up in the morning, stalking by helicopter, stalking by minions who are in police vehicles, sounding sirens while they're listening to every sentence that's being uttered. All right, so like I said, I'm not entertaining the nonsense. I'm going to document and even document that because I'm showing you this is the very purpose for systematic infliction of inhumane suffering, S.I.I.S, for federal law, okay? Because the government that is inside of the walls of this venue, monitoring through the people who are all of the same condition, a bunch of demons, monitoring while my panties are down and then asking questions when you're monitoring. So I laugh because it's pathetic, not because it's funny. It's really revealing what is a very highly unbalanced and very delusional, which translates into a threat. That's a threat to your life while they're stalking and monitoring you. Very, very delusional, okay? So you have what is the P.O.C, and the entity's light source remains over this venue as I captured upon entrance, and that was in the morning. It's 5:11 p.m. Okay, this is the P.O.C. It's inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, and that's already a matter of documentation. I don't have to go get another venue of what is flashing light and fanned out light across the ceiling on the second floor inside of this library, where minions are posing a threat by asking you what you're doing on your phone, which is also not even any of their business. But I will digress here. This is P.O.C. All right, it is 8:52 p.m. and I am on surveillance cameras exiting the Fontana Lewis Library. And not to capture the fake sun that remained after 7 p.m. in perfect alignment with the same window that I showed you that faces Spring Street at 2:22 p.m. yesterday, which is the same time where I remain on Euclid Avenue coming from Upland to Ontario, and the entity keeps that light source, which is not the sun, at 7:03 p.m., which I've captured that, and also on San Bernardino Avenue, having left the Fontana Lewis Library, which is not in alignment while I get on the bus at the Fontana McLean train station, and the entity at the same time at 7:04 p.m. as I stepped out earlier to capture that light source in perfect alignment with that window of the Spring Street and Sierra Avenue placement of that light source outside of the Fontana Lewis Library. That is what I documented. Again, that was yesterday while I was on Route 61. 7YJF244. Their job is to creep around, maintain light. That's what they're doing, group stalking in the Fontana Chamber of Commerce parking lot. So anyway, I am actually exiting, not stepping out to capture the fake sun, and that's why I went through all of that, because it's relevant what I stepped out to get. The impossible occurrence, capturing the demonic, and capturing what is the evidence of group stalking, a demonic targeting system by the state of California, 25962 and 2. All right, license 6RIN027. This bald-headed white male is on the surveillance cameras inside of Fontana Lewis Library, engaged in surveillance group stalking and sex offender monitoring. 3KHK597, and I also captured his image right now while he is stalking me in the parking lot. And I just captured the environment that I'm being surrounded by, which is the impossible occurrence of my shadow that is on both sides of me, my left and my right. His vehicle itself has multiple shadows, which I took a picture of, and he is stalking with light while he's sitting in his vehicle, blocking my path, and turning his dome light on inside of his car. This is a method of a demon to create light in the path. And that's what I just documented right now in still images. It's 8:54 p.m. And it is, I'm exiting, like I was stating earlier, I have exited the Fontana Lewis Library, and this is P.O.C. All right, molesting. This is a sex offender, 7LQJ707. These are demons that are engaging in predatory conduct. They are stalking from intersection to intersection, and this old Latino male is here to touch me, 8UJE246. That's P.O.C. These are sex offenders. Go right on ahead. I got your license plate. Good. 7LQJ707. It is 8:55 a.m. PM. Excuse me. Molesting as well as license 7A6. Hold on. 7A65842. 7NFX530. 9AAP160, 40476K3, 7SMJ924, 50163F3, 4VAS022, 7RXE737, 8ZVA622, 93729F3, CC38E46. All of them are severely mentally disturbed, and they're violent sex offenders engaging in molestation with directed light in a circus environment at the same venue. This third party is going out of business. I'm going to shut them down. I'm being molested again at Casa Barreto, okay? A very heavily documented sex offender where the entity engages in just ridiculous levels of sexual violence, and you have light just flying all about as though headlights are spinning in a circle in the air. That's the type of light activity while I'm speaking to you about the demons that are listening as I document them, and that's why every single last one of them are going to be prosecuted as an entity, corporately, in the same way that they are sexually violating corporately with the state. License plate. This is terrorism while they're engaging in that conduct, all of them. 9332172, 6WP17. I can't really see the rest of them. I'll get this sex offender is license 7U89314, 7KEW255, 5UFW955, 7KKU152. All of them engaging in what is terrorism. That's how they're going to be prosecuted. Terrorists engage in stalking with light. 7WMMO50, molesting you with light, stalking you with light. 66246E2 while monitoring you. 12095R2. They're all a part of that same criminal act. Monitoring me while my panties are down. Engaging in what is invasion of privacy as an entity. In concert and on behalf of that government that is ceaselessly stalking me by helicopters and by law enforcement officers. These are demons that bear weapons who are affiliated with law enforcement who are engaging in stalking and demonic activity. These demons engaging in terrorism while I'm merely walking down the street. You're understanding what is the hostile environment that follows you while you are also then documenting, and they engage in what is, for purposes of what's going to happen, the foolish conduct of continually to engage in terrorism and sexual violence. And that's exactly what I documented all day long inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. That's exactly what they're doing, and this is what's ongoing as I then walk down the street. That's called terrorism. 8KLE535. Keeping a fake sun over the building all day and aiming directed light into the venue all day is called stalking with light. That is terrorism. That's terrorism while you are subject to an unnatural environment serving to your demise while a government wants to threaten your life and obsessively stalk and monitor you. And then surround you with ongoing noise by demons who are literally sitting around focused on you, because that's all they're doing. Janitors that are demon possessed, stalking you, using what their uniform, so they're supposed to be in covert, okay, operation of the P.O.C. They're not. They're demons that flush toilets to the rhythm of what it is that you're doing. They're demons that roll their little carts with all their cleaning utensils to the rhythm of what you do as you do it. All right, they're psychopaths making as much noise as possible and engineered light. While a whole people surround you doing that, that is called terrorism, and it's absolutely demonic. It is so sick and demented. And it's also harassment by an entity. 70PX332, 8SAA465, 56158S2, 8ZNM256, 8HXY944. That's what group stalking is. It's the ongoing concerted conduct of what is merely presence in the path, and you're not doing it by yourself. You have demons that are engaging in teamwork with you, and they're doing it on behalf of the state. This is a state operation, okay? The state of California serves Satan, and that's the reality. This is absolutely demonic. This is the work of the devil, and this is serving what is actually, not only is that capable of being revealed through literally prosecuting it and documenting it, it is a crime. It's a crime. At the same time revealing the secrets of the demonic. Okay, so anyway, it's currently 9 p.m. And if you take a step back, you look at what I documented today. 9:38 a.m. I am in Fontana on Sierra Avenue capturing the fake sun that's over my head on this same street, in a building on the same exact street at 7:04 p.m. The remainder of a light source that is under no circumstances intelligently or reasonably acknowledged as the sun. That's the entity stalking with light. I'm literally on the same street I was on this morning at 9:38 a.m. But based on what is documentation, I've been here much earlier than that, and the entity placing a fake sun over my head. And in addition to that, I've even documented doing the same thing at an entirely different location in different counties, such as Pomona and Los Angeles County, to even further demonstrate what is stalking with light. That's the P.O.C. This is Metrolink engaging in facilitation. You're not operating any bus, you're engaged in surveillance and terrorism. While the entity also amplifying Metrolink, the sound of a train, so that's going to be the prosecution of Metrolink, inside of the library. While what? The entity aims direct light across the ceiling inside of that library. While I have multiple shadows inside of that library. This is speaking to the pattern of conduct that Metrolink is engaging in inside and outside. And it's terrorism. And Metrolink is also a company to be prosecuted as a sex offender with these minions who are molesting and monitoring while my panties are down in the bathroom. 8GTU248, 8NDZ856, 7RWE135. They're all sex offenders monitoring right now, and they're psychopaths to be prosecuted as a terrorist that they are, while they all at once listen to me document their criminal activity. That's a sex offender. That's a very demented and obsessed stalker. They're all here because of me. This is the reality, and this is also revealing what's wrong with the people of the state. They're a bunch of demons. They're going to burn in hell, but I'm going to prosecute them first before they reach that destiny. 8AFPO74, 7XWY614. And it is not separate. The minions that I documented in Rancho Cucamonga, they're listening to me accumulate evidence against them. I'm prosecuting the state of California. All I did was go to Rancho Cucamonga and show you how there is no difference. I'll pull from every corner of the state of California because they're all catching these federal charges, all of them. 8DUU323, 7HZT794, 8BQT805, 6PGM622, 7ZDT283, 23042T1, monitoring with Metrolink, 5PWD123. All of them are, this is sexual violence. This is a demon-possessed orgy. They're all molesting me together, all stalking me together. This is what group stalking is. And this is their ongoing objective. This is the purpose of that criminal system. All right, and so you're understanding what they intend to do, what they do, and then I'm reciting it to you because you're going to remember that's how I'm going to prosecute you. That's exactly what they intend to do. That's exactly why they're here. 7ZVV483. That's amplified audible activity while Metrolink is engaged in an ongoing demon-possessed molestation of my body. 1420241, Omnitrans, Route 14, molesting, bus 1292. Everybody on surveillance camera on that bus is engaged in the P.O.C. All of them. Metrolink at 9:04 p.m. is proceeding eastbound on the train tracks. And at no time ever will you is it capable of being heard inside of the library. But that's exactly what happened today. The entity amplifying the sound of traffic inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. But I also captured what was the impossible occurrence of what is over 12 hours of a sun being over the building and visible while I'm aiming light into both to the entrance and to the back wall. Absolutely impossible. Captured in still images and in video. And that amplified audible activity of what is reminiscent of the sound of the train is speaking to the demonic system that's underway. And that's why you have that light activity there as well. Alrighty, so it is currently 9:04 p.m. I just read every sex offender's license plate while they're group stalking and molesting together. And this is at Orange Way and Sierra Avenue. It's 9:05 p.m. 8YLS 092, 8RHZ 808, 8TTB 064, DN 273 handicap, DT 323 handicap, 6XBJ 270. Fontana Police, you know they're sex offenders, 1548427. They've been listening to me pull my panties up and down all day. They know what's going on. They know what time of the month it is. They're sex offenders. And that is speaking to what is the invasion of privacy by an entity where the entity is keeping a fake sun over their police station all day long. You are the perpetual sex offender. Engage in having knowledge that you should have no business having 5VWW520, and that's a sex offender with that knowledge. That's a stalker with that knowledge. Bus 2362, license plate 1545805, and I'm going to prosecute for that sexual violence. It's currently 9:06 p.m. This is a molestation at third-party facility in Venue Village at Sierra. It's 9:06 p.m. All right, Omnitrans, molesting, license 1545805. This is bus 2362. All right, demon stalking with light, that's Mariposa, and also Village at Sierra. It's a white Honda Accord that says security on it, and they are with flashing light around it. They're stalking the path with light, and then Mariposa drives up. The bus driver who I showed you, I showed you as in I took pictures of it. His shadow is on both sides of him. He's stalking. This is the demon, and he's monitoring with the state, and that is all of that is known through the light activity, the impossible light activity. And then these demons of Mariposa are engaging in what is a molestation, driving onto the property, pacing with the other security vehicle. That will be documentation attributed to what is Village at Sierra. That's where they're engaging in the stalking with light. As I continuously document and reveal to you what demons do, they stalk in the path with light activity. And they do so while they are monitoring. It's the demonic activity that they are engaging in. And so in that light activity, this is where Mariposa is arriving. You will be, a company like that is engaging in what is facilitation. You can come and clean out the toilets all you want. You're doing so in directed light. You're doing so based on what it is that I'm doing with my communication device as I do it, that is stalking with activity, doing so in relevant position on behalf and in concert with the state. And this is Mariposa that is engaging in what is terrorism and doing so as well. This is a sex offense, and this is license 6273 OT2. This is the Latino male that is I captured in a series of images operating a Mariposa vehicle. This is the company Mariposa license number. 592268 is the license number on the vehicle. And again, I read the license plate. And they're group stalking in the path, monitoring with the people of the state that are maintaining relevant position at the venue. They're all group stalking together. I'm pointing out the entity as it's engaging in what is affirmative engagement in the elements of monitoring, such as light activity, group stalking, pacing around, using companies to engage in that conduct as well. It's 9:11 p.m. All right, you're going to pay attention to the three shadows of the bus driver. This is light activity that Mariposa is contributing to. Again, you're creating flashing light and directed light. That's a demon in doing so. And then he's walking back to the truck. This is a demon that is pacing, and a demon that wants to create what is focused on the outward exterior, which is cleaning property, doing landscaping, whatever it is that Mariposa is doing. What Mariposa is doing right now is called terrorism, and it's state surveillance, and it's demonic activity. And that is also what is sexual violence. That's what Mariposa is doing. And you can see the three shadows this bus driver, the one that's operating this bus, has a shadow on the ground, and two shadows on the wall on both sides of him. This is impossible light activity, and he's monitoring it as the very evidence of it, and he's stalking in the path while Mariposa creates light activity. This is P.O.C. It's entirely demonic. I captured this in still images. It's 9:13 p.m. Alrighty, you're understanding what is a variation of the exact same thing that, for example, demons driving fire trucks do, demons driving police vehicles do, demons driving ambulances do. This light activity that is being created, that's being aimed, directed into the specific area. This is, I captured that in a still image. This is what Mariposa is providing. It's not different because you're using a business name instead of, for example, the state acting directly. This is called vicarious conduct. The state is acting via a third party, engaging in the exact same demonic conduct, stalking with light activity. Alrighty, and this bus driver, again, I'll get his employee number. He's monitoring. This is an ongoing sex offense, which he and the company Omnitrans is going to be prosecuted for. This is the pattern of conduct that they engage in routinely, and I'm just identifying it for you. It is speaking to what is the ways in which you're going to prosecute a sex offender that is stalking and that's engaged in federal stalking, and all of the many, many ways that they do so. It is the same exact conduct. You're looking at what is a different face. That's what group stalking is. All right, so you're not getting lost with regard to the numbers of faces. You're not even counting faces. They are essentially faceless. It's the government that you're documenting. The government is stalking via the people. The government is monitoring via the people, and the government is not hiding behind the people. You're going to prosecute the people and the government. It is currently 9:14 p.m. Omnitrans is molesting again, Route 66. License plate 1302445. You have another demon. They're contributing to light activity. They're stalking in the path the same. It's bus number 1333. It's 9:15 p.m. Alrighty, pay attention to the shadows of these minions that are crossing path. All right, the bus driver for Route 66, I'm capturing him. He's got a shadow that appears, a delayed appearance of a shadow on the wall next to him, but also the shadow in front and behind him. Are you ready to go? This is what I documented in still images.
No courtesy rights.
So funny how they're stalking together. Let me say this.
Sir, do I have your fare?
It is currently, by the way, 9:17 p.m.
Route 61, Airport Terminal, Pomona. Please have your fare ready. Be fair. Pay your fare. No courtesy rights.
Alrighty, that was an iteration of the P.O.C. a minion getting on without paying, and then getting off. That's for crossing a path conduct. Anyway, it's 9:18 p.m. Alrighty, the bus says this is employee number 3545. It's 9:26 p.m. We did leave the Fontana Metrolink train station, capturing substantial documentation of what is molestation by employee 3545 and Omnitrans, that is the people of the state, as they're acting in concert. That was, for example, capturing Mariposa, capturing what is the demonic environment that they're all present in. That's what group stalking is. Multiple shadows all over the place. You can see it where my baggage carrier is parked on the ground. You can see the shadow of my carrier on the wall, both sides of it. Everything is evidencing the directed light, and then also stalking the path with methods of light activity. That's what Mariposa, Omnitrans are engaging in, and they're doing so as third parties. The people of the state engage in this pattern of stalking in the path with light. It is 9:27 p.m. So we are currently at what is on Marigold at the El Super Plaza, shopping plaza. It is 9:27 p.m. Again, this is employee 3545 who was captured in still images, along with another employee that was driving Route 66. All right, but this employee that's operating this bus is the one I'm capturing. He's got three shadows standing on the wall in operation of communication device, group stalking in directed light, molesting with the people of the state in concert with the state, and doing so at the Metrolink train station, and now operating this bus where I remain subject to that P.O.C. It's 9:27 p.m. Alrighty, license 1545805, and that is bus 2362 that I was on, Route 66. And the driver identified the employee number that I documented, 8PTX185, crossing path. Ontario Police Group stalking on campus while on the bus, license 8RJH341, and monitoring with the minion that I'm capturing in still images, he is stalking with activity. He literally runs up to the front of the bus as I engage in a new activity. I started like juggling something in my hand, and as I do that, he hops up. This is a minion that's stalking with activity. So the objective is to engage in what is ongoing movement in this engineered light, which is on the bus. As I engage in anything, 8WZG 998, 8KZT 734, 7SED 178, 7JNG 557, 50323M2, 8VGZ 730. They're all monitoring with this minion. This is the loudmouth male that I documented engaging in what is very obnoxious audible activity creation as he was yelling in a foreign language while group stalking on the bus at B&G Plaza, monitoring again with the Ontario Police, by the way. And that's, let me be clear, the people of the state are monitoring with Ontario Police, period. I'm in Ontario. But let me be clear, this is the Ontario Police that are visibly engaging in, participating in, communicating a threat while stalking in your face with this same minion. That's what I want to document. And this is the minion that is getting on the bus. The entity's swiping directed light all across Shiro's Liquor, the fake suns over the venue, the Ontario Police are group stalking, and then he is on the bus while I'm showing you molestation and flashing with directed light while I'm on the Omnitrans Route 61. And this is early in the morning. This is the entity that's keeping that fake sun as I documented, even making a specific example using a specific timestamp, if I recollect correctly, I mean, which all my documentation is, but I think I was punctuating a point, as I so often do with regard to stalking with the fake sun, and the entity engaging in what is flashing with directed light. And this is specifically at Archibald. And he is on my podcast and on video and images, and he is loudly creating audible activity. License 5MTH494, driving to the dead-end street of Emporia because they're stalking. And they're doing it in directed light. That's African-American male driving that vehicle. It is, by the way, they drive down Transit, group stalking, turn onto Lemon, and then turn into the dead-end street. Okay, there is nothing on Emporia, nothing but me, okay, nothing but directed light, and this is pacing conduct, and this is the second vehicle while I am walking down the street. This is a car full of minions, group stalking at nightfall. That is their license plate, and they're engaging in surveillance at the dead-end street of Emporia. And this is the same venue where I'm showing you the Ontario Police doing the exact same thing while I had literally a line of my shadows in front of me. These are demons that are stalking in the dark. And doing so at what is 10:21 p.m., stalking me. That's exactly what you're doing in directed light on behalf of the state. And so I want to speak to that. And they're monitoring. My point is that they're monitoring with the minion that is on the bus, stalking in the path, runs to the front of the bus. This is the same minion whose back, I capture his back, perhaps his profile. He's group stalking on the bus with the employee 3545 who's operating the bus, with the Ontario Police who cross path driving north on campus while the bus is proceeding west on Holt Boulevard. This is the same minion that I documented before, in other words. It's 10:21 p.m. and the entity is engaging in this cockroach conduct. They're all in directed light and they crawl all around. They're literally demons, and so that's why I describe them in such a way, because they're engaging in demonic conduct and it's entirely demented. They're literally stalking, driving around, and sitting on dark, dead-end streets, aware where I'm at, engaging in what is following one person around. It's no less different, it's no less weird, it's no less sick while they're doing that in the library all day long. They are engaging in what is relying on the appearance of books and sitting in a building as the form of some sort of distraction as to what is nothing other than stalking and surveillance. That's all these demons are doing, following from place to place to place and molesting while they're following you from place to place to place, and stalking, punctuating your every move and conduct on a communication device with noise while following from place to place to place and molesting with light. It's 10:22 p.m. That's the pattern of conduct. That's what group stalking is. And it's the conduct of demons. Demons do this. Only demons. It is only the work of Satan. So group stalking is not any ordinary, it's not ordinary, period, because it's in every way unprecedented. But I'm speaking to, it's not ordinary with regard to, it's not just criminal. This is the work of supernatural. This is the work of the devil. All right. And speaking of the devil, vehicle 1874, 1510836. That's Ontario Police, monitoring with 5SGL073. That's a demon crossing path. Third party monitoring with the Ontario Police, who are group stalking together. They're all in directed light. All of them. And Ontario Police are crossing path on traffic cameras as well, 10:23 p.m. License 8C25200. Stalking, monitoring, molesting with the rest of the entity. License U474TL, Utah. Group stalking, representing, understand, they're representing the police. They're monitoring with the police. They're engaging in what is group stalking, maintaining presence in the path in a specific environment, and monitoring with communication devices. So the Ontario Police are visibly crossing path right now. They're a sex offender. They're kidnappers who are engaging in ongoing obsessive stalking and stalking the one who's placing them in federal prison and disbanding that police department. They're also engaging in stalking while the people of the state are continuously crossing path in traffic. They are monitoring together. It's direct and vicarious group stalking conduct, and they're all demons in a demonic environment. Listening to every syllable, listening to my breathing pattern, paying attention to what direction I'm looking in together. Obsessive stalking. 8FPJ538, molesting. 8JRR289, molesting. And doing so in concert on behalf of the police. 7HZF064, I believe. 7YDW608. Demons on the opposite side of Euclid Avenue in possible light, while demons turning onto Holt Boulevard. Turning onto Euclid Avenue from Holt Boulevard. Your headlights are not touching me. That's a demon that's manifesting light. All right? That's the same demonic activity that the Ontario Police Department are engaged in right now. Okay? While they listen to me name them, that's how pathetic they are. Okay? Satan is sitting back and watching me come for it. I'm going to drag it. I'm dragging it now. You're witnessing a dragging, but I'm not done. It's going to be in a federal court. It's 10:25 p.m. Sex offenders, molesting with the Ontario Police Department. License 8JQ D414 8YVD 951 8TTG 543. They are literally sex offenders coming on the street at this moment to touch, knowing exactly where I'm at. 02394F53, just like the Ontario Police. That's how bad they want to touch. All right, that's how important I am. Alrighty, it is 10:26 p.m. Sex offender molesting. License plate 8WIL028 6FUU263 7KBP378. License plate 7RLA649. And you remember the license plate of the third party that I stated, the African American male, and he's got passengers in his vehicle while they are right now engaging in surveillance on the dead street of Emporia. They are stalking with the Ontario Police. Okay, that is engaging in surveillance with the Ontario Police. And these minions that are crossing a path and molesting, that sex offender whose license plate I've already recited is engaging in that sex offense with the Ontario Police and the rest of these demons who I'm identifying. That's why they're going onto a dead-end street. All right, license 8BQX881. Pacing all around center ice on what is transit, coming around that dark street right there. They're driving around in the dark over here. This is surveillance. They're doing so with the Ontario Police. Ontario Police are engaging in what is ongoing obsessive stalking of me, which I've been documenting them engaging in for years. And that's why they are driving around on these dark streets. There's nothing open over here. They're stalking. They're doing it in directed light. The 5LBU628. And they're doing it where the entity is engaging in what is years of stalking by helicopter and by police, fire, and ambulance. The Ontario Police are not the only ones. The Ontario Fire Department, they're acting in concert with them. Whose state facilitating venue is also in relevant position as well. But the entity is engaging in what is conduct with the demons that are pacing around right now and maintaining presence, engaging in surveillance on that dead-end street. It's the Ontario Police and the rest of these demons who I'm identifying by license plate. That's why they're on dead-end streets and driving around on these dark streets right here. Keep me surrounded. 8FDA274. Sex offender 6GBM484. And this is what they're doing all night long, by the way. All night long. Satan does not take a nap, and group stalking is not based on some work schedule where they go to sleep. No, minions are engaged in ongoing concerted conduct. That's amplified audible activity with a demon that's stalking in the path. All right, this sex offender molesting. License plate in doing so with the sex offenders that are the Ontario Police Department. 7XYH190. It is currently 10:28 p.m. This is P.O.C. at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts now. Well, I've been here for a couple minutes just reading more license plates, but I am here now. P.O.C.